Representative Bennett, you're recognized for 10 minutes speaking in favor of the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I know earlier that we had a little toss-up over the Ten Commandment deal. Just so you all know, most people probably don't know, and he may not tell you, but the representative from Oklahoma City that sits in front there, he went to Israel with us last year, and I got the opportunity to dunk him in the Jordan River, baptize him in the Jordan River. And when we pulled him up, I said, Richard, I said, you feel that? He said, what? I said, this water is on fire. And he kind of chuckled a little bit, and he told me something I probably couldn't repeat, but I said, now you're a Republican. And he said, no, I'm not. He means well, as we all do. But the most important things in John Bennett's mind up here that we could do is fight for the things that God put in His Word and says that we should stand for. Stand for what's right. And part of that was the Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments, and more so, fight for the rights of these unborn. Fight for the life to protect the lives of these unborn that have no one else to protect them. That's what we should be doing. And if we put God first, the budget, the morality, all these issues that we're dealing with up here will fall right into place. Because that's God's plan. You know, God speaks very clearly in the Bible on the value of unborn children. God's Word said He personally made each one of us and has a plan for each one of our lives. There's no doubt in my mind because it says right here in this Word. And this is truth. In Jeremiah 1:5 it says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. There's numerous verses in the Bible talking about this. God made us in His image. Galatians 1:15 says, even before I was born, God had chosen me to be His. You know, since the legalization of abortion in 1973, did you know there's been over 57 million unborn children killed by doctors? Killed. More than the entire population of Spain. Don't you think something's wrong with that? That's 155 babies per hour, about one every 24 seconds. An unborn child that has no one to protect them. The one person that should is the very person that's killing them. By the time I'm finished with my debate, 9 or 10 or even more innocent lives will be lost. God's plan for them will be ruined forever. Can we remain indifferent to such immense human slaughter? No, we can't. Somebody has to take a stand, and that's what we're doing today. Abortion is never a mere personal choice, but a grave offense against God and His creation. You see, the anti-abortion struggle has always been a religious battle, and foremost in its ranks have been the evangelicals across the country, fighting for that right to life. This is because biblical teaching on abortion is clear and it's unequivocal. Abortion is murder. Murder. There's no way around it. There's no exceptions allowed, and there's no compromises possible. Is it unfortunate and tragic that people are raped and there's incest? Absolutely. But that does not give them the right to destroy what God made and put in their stomach. No right whatsoever. Let's just say you don't believe in God or the Bible. Maybe you don't have the same beliefs that I do, or probably most of the people in this chamber right here. So let's take a look at it from a secular viewpoint. Most of y'all know I was in the Marines most of my life. I was getting on a plane to go to Iraq. And you never know if you're going to come back or not when you leave these places. And my son at the time was about 2 years old. And as I'm going down the gangway, he says, in the best English he could muster, he says, "Dad, don't go." And I looked at him and I couldn't help but think on the plane, what a precious soul. What a gift from God. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get back to Him. And still to this day, I look at my children and think, what a blessing for somebody to try to kill them in the womb. It's just unbelievable. But the continuing war on terror has led to a renewed national consciousness of the high price of war, and for many, a heightened desire for peace. Yet, despite all this concern, the most horrible war has gone all unnoticed and all around us here. And that horrible war has gone on within our borders, and it has claimed 57 American lives in the last 43 years. The scourge of abortion is as horrible as anything terrorists could ever fathom, because it strikes at the very core of humanity in our country, and that's the family. By destroying the most basic human bond of all, which is between the mother and the child. Abortion dissolves the precious glue that binds our very nation together. While mother and child are the first victims, there's not a single element of society that's not affected by abortion. Mother, child, father, husband, aunt, uncle, friend, sibling, and grandparent alike suffer the scars of the abortionist's scalpel. Peace abroad is meaningless without peace at home. You know, I saw a video on abortions, and I saw the doctor pulling pieces of that child off, completely dismembering that child and pulling it out of the mother. I saw him going in with these tools and poking these babies. And in one video, they had a sonogram, and they was recording the doctor aborting the child. And the doctor was sticking these things in the mother and was stabbing the child, and the fetus was getting as close as it could, close to the mother's wall of her stomach. You can't tell me that child did not feel every bit of that. That's abortion. They're killing and murdering, dismembering those children. And nobody is standing up for them. But we have that opportunity today. Life starts at the moment of conception. Living beings come into existence all at once and gradually unfold their world of innate potential. It doesn't just all fall together later. It starts right there in the womb. It's amazing to me that only people fighting to continue abortion have already been born. Somebody stood up for you. Why won't you stand up for these other children? The Ten Commandments state, "There shall be no other gods before me." You, others, doctors, what gives you the right to play God and say, "I'm going to kill this child because I don't want it," or because of some misfortunate accident? That's a blessing from God. You have no right to take that child's life. You know, in Psalms 139, 13 and 16, it says, "For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." James says, faith without action is dead. Here's your chance today, tonight, to save lives. God made all of us in His own image, to save that life so they can come on this earth and do what God willed for them. Your action will prove your faith on your vote tonight. Your vote tonight will stop allowing the murder of the unborn in the state of Oklahoma. But to do that, you got to put your vote on the board. Do you have the courage to do that? Just the fact that you're here tonight means somebody had the courage to do what was right for you. And you're doing God's plan and will on this earth. Give that unborn child the same opportunity. Vote yes on Senate Bill 1552 and make sure we protect these unborn and protect life as God meant it on this earth. I ask you to vote yes on Senate Bill 1552.